Today, we're going to dive into one of the most transformative inventions in all of human history. We're talking about a device so simple it fits in the palm of your hand, but so powerful it literally redrew the map of the world. This is the story of the magnetic compass. Just try to picture it. You're out on a ship, okay? Water in every direction as far as you can see. The sun is totally blocked by clouds, and at night, no stars. You are completely, utterly lost. For most of human history, that was the terrifying reality of trying to navigate the open sea.
All right, so let's really get into what that world was like. Before this simple tool came along, humanity's reach was basically limited by what sailors could physically see with their own eyes.
Now, you got to give them credit. Early navigators were incredibly skilled. They used the sun's path across the sky, they knew the stars like the back of their hand, they understood the patterns of the wind, and most of the time, they just hugged the coastlines. And these methods worked, but they all shared one single critical weakness. Exactly. What do you do when all of your visual cues just vanish? When a storm rolls in or a thick fog blankets the sea, all those brilliant techniques become totally useless. You are quite literally sailing blind.
And here's the crucial part. This wasn't just a headache for sailors, it was a barrier for all of civilization. Long-distance trade was incredibly risky. Crossing an ocean was practically a fantasy, and the great continents of the world were basically isolated from each other.
But then a solution emerged from ancient China. And it didn't arrive with some big, grand announcement. No, it was this quiet, almost magical discovery that would fundamentally change the course of human history. So the very first compass wasn't what you're probably picturing. It was just a piece of naturally magnetized iron ore, a lodestone. And here's the really wild part. Its first use had nothing to do with sailing. It was used for things like feng shui, to help align buildings and homes in harmony with the Earth's natural energy. Over the centuries, of course, this simple idea got some serious upgrades. By the 12th century, the clumsy lodestone was replaced by a magnetized needle on a tiny pivot, which was way more practical. Then came a huge mental leap in the 15th century, when sailors figured out that critical difference between magnetic north and true geographic north. And finally, by the 16th century, they were putting compasses in gimbals, which let them stay level on a ship that was being tossed around by waves. Each step turned it from a curiosity into a real scientific instrument. So now we have it, a reliable way to find direction in any weather, day or night. And with that one little tool, the world was on the brink of a change so massive, nobody could have seen it coming. I mean, the impact was just staggering. The compass didn't just allow for transoceanic voyages, it unleashed them. That, in turn, created the first truly global trade networks. It directly lit the fuse for the age of exploration, which led to this incredible explosion of cultural exchange and, yes, conflict. And, for the very first time, it gave us the ability to accurately map the entire planet. And here's where the story gets really interesting, seeing how the same exact technology served totally different goals. For the European powers, it was all about competition. They were desperate to find new trade routes, bypass their rivals, and find new sources of wealth. But for China's Admiral Zheng He, it was a completely different story. China was basically self-sufficient. They didn't need anything. Their massive treasure fleets were all about projecting power and collecting tribute, showing the world the might of their empire. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? The vast, empty oceans, which for all of history had been the ultimate barrier separating people, were suddenly transformed into the very highways that would connect them all. So how does this thing that seems like magic actually work? Well, the answer isn't in the compass itself. It's deep, deep inside the planet we're all standing on. See, our planet has this solid iron inner core, and it's surrounded by a swirling ocean of liquid iron. As the Earth spins, all that churning liquid metal acts like a massive dynamo, a giant generator, creating a powerful magnetic field that wraps around the entire globe. Now, this field has a north and a south pole, but, and this is a really important point, they do not line up perfectly with the geographic north and south poles on a globe. And a compass needle is just a tiny lightweight magnet that's free to spin and line itself up perfectly with that massive invisible field. That's all it's doing. And this is where it gets really wild. It shows you just how alive our planet is. These magnetic poles aren't fixed points on a map. They're actually moving, wandering around all the time. You can see how much the magnetic North Pole has drifted over the last few hundred years, all because of that constant churning of liquid metal deep inside the Earth. So, the magic of the compass is really just us tapping into this enormous planetary engine. It's like cosmic engineering built right into our world. And no matter where you are, in the middle of a storm or the thickest fog, that invisible force gives you a constant, reliable point of direction.
You know, in our world of GPS satellites and instant maps on our phones, it's pretty easy to look at a compass and think it's just a quaint old relic, right? A simple analog tool from a bygone era.
But really, stop and think about it for a second. By giving humanity a reliable sense of direction, this tiny magnet didn't just help sailors find their port, it helped humanity find itself by connecting all of us from all these disparate cultures into what we now call a single global civilization. And that's the story of the simple tool that, by giving us direction, truly opened the world. Just a tiny magnet that connected an entire planet.